And I don't. Oh, there it is. I think we're live now. Hello, welcome to Bono Stuff. We got a little Top Gun, Danger Zone. Do you watch Archer, by the way?
Archer, I
The
don't.
cartoon.
Not yet.
There's a running gag since you mentioned Danger Zone where he's kind of like Danger Zone. Everything's about. There's a lot of running gags about Danger Zone. So, and some people have never seen Top Gun, watch Archer, and don't realize that that's going on. Anyway, we are a little limited. You should check it out. It's a fun one. It's like a spoof of James Bond modern and just a lot of running jokes. And anyway, we are here. Do you want to be Dr. T? That's kind of.
Yeah, Dr. T is great. T-Pain, whichever.
T-Pain, I like it. We got to put auto-tune on you if that's the case.
I have a good story about T-Pain in a minute, but.
Okay, I want to hear that. So yeah, guys, Bono Stuff, that's me. I call it that because I want to know more stuff. And Dr. Theresa Larson here is one of the leaders in the industry when it comes to physical therapy movement. She is a co-founder, I guess, of Movement RX.
I'm the founder of Movement RX. Yeah.
I just again, like, it's always the founder. Sorry, I don't want to take anything away. I just know your husband is the CEO. So I didn't know if you guys like technically wanted to give each other credit on that or anything like that, but.
He, well, legally he can't, I mean, he can't own a PT practice, but yes, I would say my husband does all things Movement RX and makes this thing run. So if you want to talk about someone who runs the show, he's the one. I just kind of dance up here and talk to you all.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to, again, circle back. I can read your whole bio and accolades, but I'll skip time because it's very long. There's a lot there that you've accomplished, and we're going to focus on a few of those bits. But yeah, I'll just say again, it's I actually was able to, as the pandemic started, and again, I've been a big fan of yours for a while, but that's when I signed up for one of the challenges, and I really love the screening system you guys have. And again, a lot of the concepts you talk about totally line up with the way I run my business and the way I work with clients. And it's definitely modeled that in some positive ways, along with like the Kelly Starretts of the world. So, you used to run, or you still do you still run their courses specifically for the adaptive athlete?
So I taught the movement and mobility course with CrossFit for like 3 years, and then had a adaptive course on his platform. However, that with the pandemic, they really honed in on their platform too. So thankfully, just my work with the government, the adaptive stuff is taken off. So I took it off their platform, and now it's just Movement RX, which is nice. So we run adaptive courses from our own from Movement RX, and now we're starting to travel again, which is nice.
Yeah, I saw a few of those announcements. Very exciting. Yeah. And so let's take a step back and tell us your vision for Movement RX as a company.
Yes. So this is, if anyone listens to Simon Sinek or reads his book, you got to start with why. And I really believe that, my business today doesn't look anything like it did 8 years ago when I first started it. But the vision of Movement RX is to give individuals, the knowledge and tools to live a lifetime of emotional and physical freedom. So that's my role. And there's 3, main audiences that we focus on. We've really found who our audience is. It's the principals and teachers of the world, right? It's veterans, because I am a veteran, and the other component is executives, so leaders.
Yeah. And specifically working with vets and military, you wanted to talk about that. And again, it's such an important thing, and underappreciated part. A lot of folks in America talk a big game, but then it's maybe barbecuing on Memorial Day and and past that, there's not much. So I'd love to hear a little bit about obviously your history, but the work that you guys are doing with vets and the military.
Thanks, Bo. It's, I've been reading actually a lot of books. Thankfully, part of my own self-care practice is reading books that don't relate to business or don't relate to anything personal development. And I've been reading a lot about Gail Zimok Lemon. She wrote the book Ashley's War, and I'm reading Daughters of Kabani. But anyway, it's really about these Arabic women and them starting businesses, and it shows you the other side of the war, really, the Afghani-Iraqi war that I was in. And I've found that it brings this personal element to the war. Like, and in my own experience, I wrote about it in my own book, Warrior. Like, I wrote about confronting war, the other side of the war as a woman. And so I've been enjoying reading these books. And I guess where I'm trying, I had a point of where I was going with this, was that what she wrote about was like when veterans come home from these experiences, these intense experiences, or military service members, like you go into Walmart in the grocery store and people are oblivious. Like, and you Memorial Day, people are focused more on their parties that they're going to and the alcohol they're going to drink and the amount of food they're going to eat. And you can be infuriated by it, or you could just look to educate and be of service. And so that's what I've decided to do, versus kind of contributing to the toxicity of shaming people. It's trying to share with them, like, look, let's drink your beer and eat your food, but think about the people who have given their life to do this. And so, I mean, that's the reality, though, of any war. No one's really going to ever understand. And even if you haven't been to war, no one's ever going to understand your story better than you in your life. So, but it's really important to me, based on my own health journey, and John McCaskill, this Navy SEAL I work with, like to help veterans, give them the knowledge and tools to be emotionally and physically free versus relying on the VA, right? Who a lot of times, because it's so overrun, just a bag of medicine is what they give you, or 3-month wait to get into physical therapy. And it's like, as you know, as a PT, there's so much you can do outside of rehab before you get injured to just take care of yourself. People just knew how to be more mindful about the way they moved, about the way they ate, even the way they think, being more aware of like, oh, wow, that's a crappy thought. Like, I don't need that, then you just go through life a little more empowered, and less reactive. And so that's why working with veterans is really important, because you can get into this victim mentality once you leave, that, oh, I have a disability, or, I'm out of the service. Who am I? Well, who you are you're not who you are is so much more than what you do. We are all infinite possibility, right? I love Deepak Chopra's education on that. He studies metaphysics. Like, we are so much more than what we do. Our roles of service that we wanted when we joined the service don't end when we leave it, right? Like, I'm still serving people, but now in a way that I think is more powerful than when I was in the Marine Corps. So I think that's an important message for veterans, because that group in particular can get really wrapped up in their story. Like, oh man, I got out, or I was injured. Who am I? I'm not worth it anymore. I don't have the same tribe. Well, you have to find it again, so.
Yeah, for sure. I guess what that sparked for me real quick is, what is the best way civilians like us who are enjoying Memorial Day and, posting on Instagram, freedom isn't free and that kind of thing, and doing our Memorial Day Murph workouts and all that good stuff. What are some, maybe the best ways we can contribute to those veterans and making an impact outside of maybe volunteering with certain organizations? But are there charities that maybe you recommend? Again, for me, the only things that come to mind from my time in CrossFit in that community is the Wounded Warrior Project. And then would something like finding scholarships or selling, I think it's $97 for your 21-day mindfulness thing. So would buying like scholarships for folks be something that could be useful? Just anything you want to throw out in terms of quick resources.
So we do have, because people have asked, we do have the opportunity to pay it forward with the 21-day experience. So I'll give you the links and stuff, Bo, and if people want to pay for it, right, this is the introductory price. $97 is like a drop in the bucket for someone. It's a nice gift. it's like two really good meals, you know? But the other thing is, it's not really money that you have to give. I think the biggest thing, and I learned this from my father, who is no longer with us. He was he was in the Army, an Army Ranger, became a Catholic priest, like later on in life, totally different direction. You know, he was a widower, so he could do that. But he would, at homilies of people who passed away, he would say, and he had a lot of veterans in his community, he would say that a way to keep them alive is to share about them and tell their stories. So do your bar, do Memorial Day in these holidays the way you want to. And I would suggest like a healthy way, right, for your own body, but take the time to remember why. And if that means that if meaning to you means posting on Instagram about a veteran that passed away, or a veteran that you know passed away, or about Murph, or whatever it is, like about why, you know, you're going to celebrate today and who's that for, that goes a long way, right? Like whenever I celebrate my own parents who are gone, I don't give money. I just take time to remember them and talk about them. And I think that goes a long way, because a lot of times what you see is just you don't see the memories being shared, and that's how you keep people alive. And so that's all I would say. I mean, there's a lot of great charities out there and nonprofits. Team Red, White, and Blue. There's the Veterans Path. There's obviously the Wounded Warrior Project. I mean, I think there's thousands of veteran nonprofits. FitOps is a great one for fitness professionals. There's John Cena actually sponsors FitOps. So I work with them through my adaptive work. I teach for them, and they are great. And there's a nonprofit actually that paid for 10 spots for veterans to be able, in this mindfulness experience, for any veterans of our choosing to participate. So, you know, that was pretty cool. That's $1,000, easy for a nonprofit to do.
Right.
And for some people that's easy to do. For some it's not. So yeah.
No, I really appreciate that perspective on it. And yeah, I think it is a lot of that mind shift, if you will, which is a nice transition to the 21-day mindfulness experience model and talking about that. So tell us a little bit about that's something you guys just started running, and share with us what that is.
Yeah. So thanks, Bo. I am so excited about it. Like, I love the adaptive work, but I feel like after running this business for 8 years, we finally reached a point where we can really reach the emotional needs of people. And, you know, as a PT, like, I love the movement piece and I love teaching movement wellness. But I also have really enjoyed working with a fellow veteran, John, who's like a brother to me. He's married an amazing woman. We both have, you know, our families really get along really well. He loves our team loves him. And he really brings that emotional component. And so why mindfulness became a thing was because I practiced it for so long. Like, I was introduced to it by a Marine Corps sister of mine who's also a PT, and she introduced me to this biofeedback therapist who does mindfulness meditation. And I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, and I totally dissed it. I was like, I'm not going to meditate. Are you kidding me? And, oh my gosh, the guy was like Abe Lincoln, like so calming, really tall guy. I worked with him for a few years, actually, 5 years. He became an executive mentor to my company, because we'd gone through some shifts like a few years ago, and he like mentored my team through it. Because there was a time when we could have split up completely, and like I was working with a different business partner at the time, and who just wanted to go a completely different route that wasn't in our vision. And so it was like, how do you say goodbye? Like, how do you kind of let this go in a meaningful way where you both feel empowered? And so that happened. And so I kind of really look at mindfulness as it's a way of life, and it really influenced my business. But I didn't bring it into my business until John came about. Like, I'd started talking to John, and I was like, oh, especially during the pandemic, people were asking for emotional health resources over movement. And we know they need movement, but I wanted to make sure that I was giving them both. And so we started teaching this seminar to companies, and then developed it into this experience because, right, it takes 21 days to start a habit, but 70 to become automatic.
Mm-hmm.
And so we actually created this free journal that helps kind of set the framework for people over the course of 70 days on how to build this mindfulness habit, which includes movement, right? You can't separate brain and body, like they go together. And so that's really a big part of the education. And there is a lot of noise, right, in the fitness space, in the mindfulness space, whatever. Mm-hmm. The thing is, mindfulness and movement, meditation movement, mindfulness movement go together. And so that's why I think we have this unique approach to it. It's not that unique in a sense. We all know as PTs, if you're listening, like, yeah, duh, it's part of mindfulness. But a lot of the world doesn't. They see it as this mental health focused thing. And it's not just that, right? If you practice mindfulness, if you slow down, like I no longer eat in front of my phone. Like I pay attention to the look of my strawberries and the chocolate that I'm eating. It's like amazing, and then the coffee I'm drinking and being here with you versus having 20 things open on my computer and I'm thinking about all the shit I got to do later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, like that's not life-giving. And that's why executives burn out so fast is they get, like, we just spoke to Mike Ettore, who's part of $1 billion company, right? If you look him up on Google, you can see his worth. He gave up millions of dollars because he was burnt out. Like, burnout is real, especially at the top ranks. And so being able to give someone something that takes 10 minutes a day, right? I'm not advocating people kick their asses in fitness every day. I'm asking them to do body maintenance and like mental maintenance. And that body maintenance includes movement breaks and what to do with those. And so it's been powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, I love the whole concept. I've actually had a few folks on recently that very much overlap with these concepts, including David Bidler. Have you seen his work, Physiology First?
I've seen Physiology First, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Breathe to Perform. And they're doing similar kind of mindfulness for specifically aimed at teenagers and kind of that population of, again, when they talk about Physiology First, and it sounds like there's tons of parallels here with all of us, I guess, and hence why I've asked these folks on, including you, is it's getting teenagers. I think they do like the ice bath with them, and they're drinking iced coffee, but they're creating this space and community to the point of the 21-day challenge you have going on. That one of the big things that I'd say so far that I've seen differentiates you guys is you have an actual community to that feel, which again, I'm sure kind of stems from between your work in CrossFit, your work with veterans, military, that community feel is so important that, and connection. And that's another part that's come out of this pandemic too, of the physiology coming back to it is I don't know if you saw the study, they showed that loneliness is equivalent daily to the smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Physiologically. So I'm sure we're not surprised by that stuff, but yeah, it's powerful stuff. And then being able to control and empower. And then he mentioned, and I don't know if you're familiar with Andrew Huberman's work. Have you seen his stuff at all?
What does he write about?
He has a lab in the Northeast and they really focus on kind of breath work and things like that around, again, what impacts it has on physiology. And I heard him on a few podcasts. He has his own very kind of powerful podcast. And one of the things I heard him talk about recently is like we give out a driver's license, and we should be giving out, or part of that should be like, can you breathe with your belly? Like, can you control your breathing kind of thing? Like, and we can certainly argue about is diaphragmatic breathing the ultimate, the end all be all. But it's an interesting concept of, again, like if you're in traffic, we're going to be able to avoid, whatever 70% of accidents if you just learn to freaking take a breath and use your physiology that's inherent of like deep breath in, deep breath out, like 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, whichever, again, box breathing, whatever thing that works for you, and just have that confidence, empowerment that ties into, I think, a lot of our missions and visions, and that's the thing. I'm kind of still, I guess, in building my brand and redefining what I'm doing, and moving out here to Colorado. We talked about I'm only out here 4 months. I'm kind of trying to find different ways to approach people and talk about what it is I do, because it's very different than I think we both do stuff that's very different than the norms, and
So you
traditional
got to stick
physical therapy.
together.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun kind of finding that. And again, I'll use Kelly Starrett as an example of, he was always a little bit of that disruptor, right? Especially when it comes to on the grand scale in terms of being out there. And I remember him talking about, in an airport, he wouldn't say, if someone's like, hey, what do you do for work, in that conversation, he wouldn't say I'm a physical therapist. He'd say I'm an educator, of how, how to teach people how to use their body better. And that's, so to me, been really, I don't know, powerful. And again, it sounds like that's totally what it is you're doing, in a lot of into that and population that we're working with. And anything else we should know about that 21-day mindfulness bit is $97. It's 20 days, obviously. Anything else? Oh, I think I lost your audio. I don't know if I've had that happen, but that's a first.
For here we go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you had a little.
All right, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So the 21-day, I think if you're looking for a tribe, I just actually spoke to my PT school, like a bunch of students in their wellness class, and it was really cool to talk to them about like other things that are possible in the PT world. And I think if you're a professional, a health professional, or a PT student, or someone in the fitness space, and you're looking for a tribe of people to kind of mentor you as well as build you up and see other things that are possible, join our experience. I mean, I don't do a ton of one-on-one work anymore, actually none. I haven't done any in a year. I keep up my skills working on my husband and friends and stuff, but like, I really am enjoying the educational piece. I mean, we work with the VA, we work with the Department of Defense, and there's a whole nother area of defense work that we do, and consulting, and I really enjoy it. And I found that it's really good to have people around you who aren't in your line of work, who are leaders in their field, which is why I surround myself with people like John, or another one of my mentors is Dr. Kyle Bergquist, who he's a doctor of chiropractor. He doesn't actually do chiropractic, but he runs like veteran retreats in, all around the country. And he does a lot of education and creates products. And, there's other individuals in different areas, like even Jim Cahill, who's a biofeedback mindfulness coach. Like, he ran a medical device company for years and then became a mindfulness coach. Like, it's just nice to have these different perspectives that challenge you, because, at the end of the day, when I look at what I want my life to look like each day and who I want to be around, like, I need to create that. And so that's kind of what this mindfulness experience has given me a chance to serve the way that fits me as a mother of 2 young kids. It serves my energy, because I am, despite this work, I'm highly introverted, and I like the alone time. I like space away from people. I need that. Why did I go into physical therapy? Because of that. Well, I want to still help people, and I love the knowledge. And so what doing this work has done for me is putting myself out there. Every day we put ourselves out there. Every day you put yourself out there, Bo, with your videos, which are great. You're in the arena, right? Like, you're in the arena daring. And I've kind of let go of what people care, what people think. And I do care about my immediate close connections and what they think, of course. But like, it's been really powerful for me to put it out there and to kind of grow this practice in life that serves my family and me. And something I'm really proud of is that because of the team we've built, and this hasn't always been the case, right? Like, I did early on in my career hire PTs that just didn't want to do online, didn't like the idea of putting themselves out there, and that's okay. But in the end, that's where my company was going. So I had to change my team. And because of the work we've done, though, we just teamed up with the Mayo Clinic, completed our first white paper as a team, though. Like, I didn't have to do it alone. And that I'm just really excited about that. Like, because years ago that would never have happened. And so, I can sit here today talking to you all because I have a team behind me that I've built from these different people who don't do what I do. The person that actually wrote the white paper, she's a researcher at the Mayo Clinic who works with spinal cord injury, right? Like, she doesn't do patient care either. And it's nice to find people like you, Bo, people like her, people like Kelly, Deanna, like, who don't do traditional PT, who like think outside the box and are growing something. And it's really hard to do that because you are going up against the norm and pushback. And you just, all I've learned is you just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
When you get to the fork in the road, go straight. No.
Yeah. You just keep going.
Just keep going. Very cool. I do want to be respectful of your time. I know you have a very an exciting lunch appointment. Anything? Are you guys eating anywhere fun?
You know, we're in San Diego, so
Yeah.
my colleague and I we're meeting at Implex,
Okay.
which is up the street from me, so I can actually walk up there and
Nice.
have an actual sit down lunch. This is amazing.
Exciting times. Exciting times. I did just see a Travel Channel food show thing. I don't know if you heard of this. It's like a pop-up in San Diego, total random thing, and it was called Bear to Cow. And the chef is dressed in a bear costume the whole time, and they kept up the appearance the whole time, and they do like these 50-day, dry aged steaks and things like that. Anyway, it's apparently a pop up, and you have to like both. Anyway, I'm curious to find out from someone, if anyone listening has been there or is familiar with it. I'd love to hear your experience because I'm a big foodie, and that's why I went down that path too. But anywho's it.
Nice.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much for sharing all your stuff. We'll put all the links down below. I really encourage folks to try that 21-day mindfulness challenge again, only $97. Sounds very reasonable. We talked about, again, changing a little bit of the minds, hopefully around military and just how we are as a culture, maybe big picture thing. But yeah, hopefully that again gets people, as I say, changing 1% in a better direction, hopefully.
Yes.
And yeah, other than that, I really appreciate you being on here. Any other quick places to find you, best ways to get in touch if folks want to do that?
I think just LinkedIn is the social media channel I use the most. So you can find me on there. Go to movement-rx.com and look around. And you can access and email me there as well.
Awesome. All right. Really appreciate it. Dr. T. What's the T-Pain story? You didn't tell the T-Pain story.
So I like T-Pain because I am the bigger white rapper version of T-Pain. But I was in a defense meeting the other day with pretty much all older white males, right? And everyone was very stoic when I got into this meeting, and I didn't have any cool background or anything. And here I am, like, and it was on Microsoft Teams, and so, everyone's like super serious, and I got into the meeting late. It's just like, I'm so sorry, but I forgot that I had T-Pain on I had like written T-Pain as my name. And this one guy was like, so tell me about T-Pain. I really like his work. It was just like, and he started like naming all of these songs. And then all of a sudden the whole meeting was just like talking about.
I don't know if you cut out. Oh, we lost your audio again. Anyway, we were cutting off anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You came back. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, we were wrapping up. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I'll send you all the links. We're gonna cut it here, and yeah, guys. Hope if you did like it and you made it all the way here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe,
yes.
Leave a rating, review, all that fun stuff. Share it with someone you think will benefit from it, and hope you got one.